It's Saturday morning. My name is John Oldham, and I'm very pleased to be joined by Michael Brandon. Now, Michael, you're coming to Cheltenham next week in A View from the Bridge. Now, this is a very timely play because Arthur Miller's celebrating the centenary of his birth. So this work is amazing. What do you think of Arthur Miller?
I love Arthur Miller. I never loved it as much as I do right now, because when you start acting, the scenes you do in acting school or the things you work on are always Arthur Miller, because it's classic. All My Sons, Death of a Salesman. So there's always scenes to do, but this time, it's like years later, it's how you look at life, after you've grown up a bit. Saying these words, it is poetry. It's really an amazing way he speaks. He's the American Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is beautiful, but it's more of a man's Shakespeare. And it captures, the times and the family strife and the relationships. And in this is a very different play. This was not a overused play of his. The View from the Bridge is about the social strata at this particular time after the war. And when you cross that Brooklyn Bridge, you go from Brooklyn into Manhattan, which was a whole nother society, which was a more upmarket life. But you come back to Brooklyn, and under the bridge was Red Hook. And this was the gullet of New York, swallowing the tonnage of the world. So, and these were these longshoremen who lived there and worked there and brought everything that came from the world into the city.
And these family relationships, they all get together, and basically the whole family gets rocked to join the play, doesn't it?
Yes. I come from Brooklyn. I was born 15 minutes from where this play takes place. I grew up in those neighborhoods, on the pavements and the streets and with the gangs and the whole thing. And it was, my father was a laborer, and I have my own personal genetic thing I bring to it.
Tell us a little bit about the cast.
Jonathan Guy Lewis is playing Eddie Carbone. Eddie Carbone is a central figure in the story, and it's about his relationship to his niece, who he's raised, who is the daughter of his wife's sister. Okay?
Yeah.
They've raised her, and now she's coming of age. And it's like, as Alfieri says, sometimes there's too much love. There's too much, and it goes where it mustn't. But the thing is, Eddie doesn't understand the feelings that are happening. He loves her and adores her and protects her. And now that she's seeing other men, it's like she's starting to grow up and it's having a hard time dealing with it. It's affecting the family because two relatives come over to stay with them. Illegal immigrants is the way they were. And there's a lot of poignant stuff, about, immigration and working illegally. And so it's a great cast.
How's the play going so far?
Well, we have we open tomorrow here in Nottingham. We haven't opened. We're at teching right now, which is the most boring part of having to set the lights to each place you move around the stage, with the various pieces of furniture and how to not block the light from the actor you're talking to. So this is the technical aspect. And then we'll have a dress rehearsal tomorrow, and then we'll perform for the first time in front of an audience.
But well into action by next week, by the time you get to Cheltenham.
By the time we get to Cheltenham, we should be cooking hot. It'll be as hot and fast as the races.
Now, you've enjoyed really an incredible career, obviously on the television, films, and theatre. Do you have a particular favourite from the three?
It's hard. It's really hard. I mean, there are moments, there are scenes, there are films, directors, actors that you love working with, and I have been very privileged to work with some of the best actors in the world. And, I guess I could say, Jerry Springer was, the opera was probably great because working at the National and getting nominated for an Olivier, that was terrific. I'd said it's a pretty hot moment. What else?
A lot of people remember Dempsey and Makepeace, of course.
Well, sure. And that was like one of the greatest times in my life, making that series. And obviously, I'm 25 years married to my co-star.
That's pretty good going.
Yeah. and she's right now on the boards as well. She's doing beautiful in the West End at the Aldrich Theatre.
So
so they just got rave reviews, and so it's like here we are. We talk from dressing rooms,
So from the sort of roles that you've done, what do people talk to you about? I mean, is it Dempsey Maples? Is it the Tank Engine? What is it?
Oh, you're talking about Thomas the Tank? Well, the kids. I mean, I grew up, I did it for about 8 years, all the voices for the first 5 until it became CGI, and then I was the narrator in Diesel. Yeah. I don't like you, Steamies. But anyway, that was good fun. But I mean, people remember many different things. I mean, Queen of the Stardust Ballroom, or if you're in New York, they remember Lovers and Other Strangers, because everybody say, hey, no gap here. What's the story, Richie? It depends.
Also, you've done Doctor Who, and I suppose quite a few people like to talk about that. You have all the Doctor Whoites.
Well, yeah, I got to say battle stations. I always wanted to say battle stations. That was great fun, too. You know what I mean? It's like, I love it. I don't know what I could have been instead, because getting to do all these wonderful roles with all these great actors, I was on Broadway with Al Pacino, I've done movies with De Niro, and Shirley MacLaine, Anthony Hopkins. I mean, they're just incredible people to have these experiences. Sometimes when I'm leaving a set, I turn around and I go back, and then I say, what am I doing? I turn around again. It's like you don't want to leave because you've had such an incredible experience, and you've had an exchange of intimacy with this cast that you've worked with, playing these characters. It's an amazing life.
Obviously, you're tied up now for a while with A View from the Bridge, which is coming to Cheltenham next week. Any plans beyond that?
Well, I'm reading 2 plays at the moment, and in May will be the 3rd or 4th episode of Episodes with Matt LeBlanc and Steve Mangan, and so that's coming out. When you got really good writing and it's really funny, and you have to laugh your way through it and then stop yourself to be able to perform it. It's just great. David Crane, he's brilliant. Yeah, it's a fun show.
Well, obviously, thank you very much for talking to us. And we ought to say that A View from the Bridge is at the Everyman Theatre from Tuesday the 10th to Saturday the 14th of March. And details at everymantheatre.org.uk. Michael Brandon, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John. All the best.